Hi there, how are you? Welcome to my channel. This is Evee of Divine Goddess V6. I hope this finds you well. There has been a lot of energetic transference and download activations lately, and I'm about to do a reading for Divine Feminines. I am about to channel divine love messages for you and your journey and your connection. Looking to focus on the Divine Feminine during this reading, and I'm going to rely on Spirit and take it from there and see where we're led, okay? When I'm speaking of Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine energies, I am speaking purely of energies and not in the physical gender forms. So you can be either or and house either or energies that dominate, that kind of thing. All right, let's begin. Spirit, what can you tell us about, what do you want the Divine Feminine to know at this time? What is most important for the Divine Feminine to know at this time? Okay, let's see. Oh. Oh, how beautiful! These two cards flipped into themselves. So there's yes in reverse, and then there's awakening. So beautiful. Okay, just say yes is the first card in reverse. And then awakening, it says energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. All right, so this is a general reading, and I'm going to cover what I can and go from there. Some of you may have just newly embarked on your journey, and you are about to come into the best version of yourself possible at every waking state. And you're newly awakened. I'm seeing the moon right there, so we have the Age of Aquarius coming up at the end of the year, and with each moon event, you know, full moon, blue moon, you know, new moon, super moons and all that, and with all the planetary constellations taking place and making all these massive changes, there's a lot of energies and light activations happening, okay, which is really amazing. And I'm hearing, I've heard this 3 times now. A lot of you may be experiencing a lot of fear, and you know, some of you might be feeling that, you know, like terror, and Spirit saying, you know, you need to do some work to bring yourself out of it. And you have to bring yourself out of it. You've been called onto this journey to bring yourself out of it, okay? It's not as simple as just snapping your fingers and having everything, you know, fall automatically and, you know, having it happen to you. You're on a co-creating journey now, you know, and this is a pathway, and, you know, there's many tools out there to help cultivate your growth, but you need to look for it, and you need to, okay, I'm just gonna take these 2 cards. You need to do the work. No one's gonna do it for you, and it's not gonna move itself. Letting go came out. It says time for release, and I think it came out in reverse. And then there is inner child, hear and know me, and this came out, I guess, in a weird horizontal state. Regardless, these cards, they're not upright. This is what you need to do. There's some letting go you need to start practicing on, because that card is under yes and it's in reverse, and that tells me is like you have to say yes to it first. You have to choose to go within yourself first. You have to get ahead of this. You have to get ahead of it. It's not going to happen to you. It happens for you, but you need to co-create it, and you need to do your part in flow with the universe in order for, you know, the great things to happen. And there's some inner child wounds you need to look at. We'll see what that is shortly, okay? And it looks like, yeah, definitely inner child wounds. It could also be ancestral wounds. It could be also old wounds from previous lives that you've carried in to this lifetime, okay? Like I said, this is a general reading. This is only for some of you. And this is a third message I just got, so this is for some of you if it resonates. If this is not applicable to you, this could also be applicable for your person, okay? It's interchangeable as said, but I am reading for the Divine Feminine at this time. All right, let's see. What are you letting go of? Let's see, what are you letting go of? What are you letting go of? What can I grab this from? Let's grab it from here. What are you letting go of? Or what do you need to let go of? What do you need to let go of that's stemming from maybe your childhood issues? We'll take this one. Self-esteem came out in reverse. Yeah, and this is like a dark blue, green, navy around the borders. Oh, and guardian angel Michael. Archangel Michael is helping you with your self-esteem issues stemming from your past. What else? Woo, hey! Wow. So, everything during a reading is, with reason and not by accident. So when this card knocked over your inner child, it's shame. There's a stack of stuff underneath it. I'll take a look in a second. But yeah, shame ultimately. And these cards are in reverse, which tells me you need to go within. You need to go inside and heal these parts of you, okay? For some of you, past life or not, the thing is that if it's translated to up into this life, that this is stuff you need to look at. This is stuff you need to heal, and this is the lifetime to do it. All right? And with you finding out, you finding this reading today, this is just another validation and, Spirit's way of telling you, what you need to do. This is instruction. This is a divine message. And underneath that is denial. You've been denying your shame. You've been denying your inner child. You've been ignoring your inner child and not letting go of what you need to let go of, okay? Furthermore, yeah. This is just all stuff you need to release. Yeah, priorities, having epiphanies, the death is here. This change needs to take place here. So yeah, we'll just take the shame card. Let's see, and we'll take the denial card. Let's see. So there's a part of you that you just keep shushing. You just tell them to shut up. That's what I'm hearing, for many of you, you're being triggered right now by your shadow self, all right? This is, in turn, what's going to buff you out and make you shiny and whole, You're facing your shadow truths. You're facing your shadow self. That's what all this is about. And you are having an awakening of this at this time. And, I'm sure, for some of you, you're thinking, this does not feel like an awakening because it doesn't feel good per se. I mean, it's scary. It's a scary business, facing your shadow self, right? But Spirit's saying, you need to do this. You need to pick up your leadership and be in your power and start your path to healing, right? So ultimately, you need to show yourself unconditional love first. You need to heal yourself first, and that's where the boundaries come in. A lot of these cards are in red, and red is the base, the base root chakra color, and that's about, protection and your your ancestral path, you know, your old wounds, your inner child wounds, your, you know, all that stuff you just swept under the rug, you know, stuff you haven't wanted to look at for however long. You know, Spirit saying this is now the time to clean this up. This is now the time to confront your shadow self. This is the time to be brave. This is the time to be courageous. Okay. All right. What more about your inner child? Let's look at that. I'll get a couple from the emotional intelligence deck, and then I will grab from another deck. Spirit, can you tell us a couple more emotions the inner child needs to heal for the person who's watching? All right. Yeah, I think your stuff's really buried. These cards didn't even want to turn up, you know, right side up. Enthusiastic. Yeah, you just don't want to. It's like, you know, humdrum, doldrum, don't wanna. Empathetic. Spirit knows you feel what you need to do, okay? Your higher self knows. And, you know, you're in a twin flame situation, your divine counterpart feels everything you're feeling, okay? And or you're feeling everything your counterpart is feeling, all right? Ultimately, there is an empathetic factor here. The empathy is for your sensitivity levels to pick up on and to translate the messages that's being sent to you that, you know, you need to translate, and you need to translate this for yourself, right? And maybe or you need to reconnect with your inner child. You know, that's another empathy message I just got, you know, to connect with your inner child, you know, of how your inner child used to feel, because you swept those feelings under the rug for so long, you know, the feelings of shame, the feelings of not being good enough, you know, not being pretty enough, not being, you know, bright enough, you know, thin enough, or, you know, strong enough. Any of that, you know, it's just Spirit saying you need to go over that, come through it. You need to come through it and not use it as a crutch. These old paradigms of your old foundation, you know, where you used to, you know, where you have your ego and you're the person that is not for the attributes that doesn't serve you anymore. You use them as a crutch, right? Because is that codependency or just letting go? You know, your inner child might have, you know, codependency issues, right? Of being abandoned, of, you know, not being good enough, you know, just all that shadow thinking. All right. Oh God, I'm losing my voice, which tells me, yes, this is something you really need to look in on. Yeah. Hopeless came out in reverse. Oh, honey, I feel you've had this big mask on this whole time. All right, I don't know who I'm speaking to. That's what I'm hearing. My hand's really hot right now. Whoever this is for, you need to come through your hopelessness. Okay, Spirit's here for you. You have 1,000 angels around you at your beck and call. All you have to do is ask. And if you stay in this hopelessness, you don't feel like you're going to be answered, so you don't ask. So I'm telling you right now, for you to be watching this reading, I'm validating the fact that you have to ask your angels and your spirit team and your spiritual guidance team to come in and connect with you, to help you through your hopeless state. You know, whether that be your first sentence, you know, you invite your guides and your angels and your archangels in and tell them, I feel helpless, I feel hopeless. Show me light, show me courage, show me strength. I promise you, you will be answered. I promise you. This is universal law. This is universal spiritual laws, okay? Wow, that was woof, woof. I hope the right person hears this. And I have faith that Spirit will lead them here. And so if you are that person, I'm telling you right now, I'm validating your point. You are being heard, okay? You're being heard. All right. So, and then cheerful came out in reverse, as with oh my gosh, codependent. I was just saying that. Spirit saying, don't stay in that low vibe. You are worth it. Ask for help. Ask for spiritual help. Ask your angels and your guidance team around you. You are not alone, okay? Don't stay in your hopeless state and keep sweeping everything under the rug. It's not getting you anywhere. You are being called right now to be on your path, okay? You're being awakened. Wake up, you. All right, let's see, what else? What should you be focused on right now? Let's ask that. What should you be focused on right now? Spirit, what does this person watching need to be focused on right now? What does this person need to know? Okay, I'm gonna grab one more after that one fell out just now. Okay, so the card that fell out first says have fun, and in reverse. So I'll read it. It says stop. When was the last time you had fun? All right, I'm gonna stop from here because I'm hearing, because it's in reverse. Spirit saying, stop sweeping things under the rug. Stop taking this as lightly, okay? You need to place some determination and effort into this. You need to see this through. This is for you, and this is not gonna move itself without you. You need to move this. Okay, this card's in red. And it's verging on orange, was like a coral, and that is the sacral center's chakra color, which is orange, and that's about will, and that's about courage, and that's about, you know, bravery, having the strength, you know, having being in your wellness and trusting this entire process to heal, you know, your root, your root center. And Spirit saying, listen, okay? Listen. You have to listen first and do. And you can't, you know, start off denying, you know, your shadow self. You have to open the door to create the pathway so you can hear what's being told to you, okay? All right, so let's ask what Spirit's trying to tell you. All right, where can we get this from? What is Spirit trying to tell you? We'll get it from the deck of, let's see, where can we get this from? What's Spirit trying to tell you? Wow, look at this. Insight came out. You are going to receive insight. You know, these all happens in steps, right? You know, you listen first. You receive comprehend the insight you've been given, you know, sharpening your senses, and the Divine Masculine card came out in horizontal. So this is two things to me. I just got chills again. You know, whatever you do here, Divine Feminine, is going to affect your Divine Masculine, okay? This is like the circle of life, you know, the circle of energy that, you know, surrounds your special connection, because there's nobody else except for you and your divine counterparts, okay? And this just tells me you got to take this seriously. You got to place determination and effort on this, because this is not just for you. This is for your divine counterpart as well. And you two are, you know, you two are one. You two are one. You guys operate as a whole, right? Whatever you're experiencing, you know, your counterpart stands to benefit. You know, if you're in a shady spot and you know, and feeling weak, you know, your counterpart is gonna feel it. They are. All right. So, what should you be focused on? So for some of you out there, like I said, if this is, you know, this is a new for you, or maybe you need a reminder to stop and really be aware and be in the moment and listen, so you can listen for your insight and instruction and what you need to do next. Okay, so let's look at this. what is this gonna bring for you? And before I ask this stuff in my mind. All right, and it says embarking on an adventure. Okay, and the card underneath it is in reverse. It's a stepping into stillness, which translates for me, you know, you go within. There's a journey here, and there's a doorway to an adventure, to a new doorway, and you need to step out of your stillness to do it. You have to be out of your plan of inaction, right? For those of you who this resonates with, you know, you haven't done anything, you haven't done enough to face your shadow self, right? And for those of you who are facing your shadow selves, what else is there? Let's just say you have been listening and you have been receiving insight, and you're not moving any faster than, you know, you're hoping to. What I have to say to that is that, you know, you need to be in your inner divine patience, okay? And I learned this actually most recently. For those of you obviously on the twin flame journey, and, you know, in the beginning of this journey, there's going to be multitudes of times where you're feeling absolute impatience and you want to just throw it in the towel, you want to give up, you're like, this is for real, this is my imagination, and, you know, 10,000 excuses in the book, right? What I've learned from Spirit, you know, most recently is that, you know, you are a part of a collective now. You're a part of the twin flame collective. You know, you are on this twin flame journey, and you personally know whether you're on this or not. I mean, it's plenty clear, right? Enough for you to step away from your shadow self and not want to face it, because, you know, this journey is not always easy, as, you know, we all know. And but Spirit had, you know, taught me that when I'm feeling low vibe and I feel unsupported and that this isn't happening, I resorted and relied on the collective, okay, on the twin flame collective that I know I'm a part of now, and rely on and count on, you know, the energy, the spirit, you know, the collective's energy. And I felt that hold me up. I felt that support me, and I felt the righteousness of it. Does that make sense? And I saw where I'm at, and that it was all perfectly where it's supposed to be. You know, and I'm not saying, you know, it made me feel, you know, patient right away. It wasn't like that. It was a tool. You know, we're giving all these tools, right? We're not alone. It feels like we are, but the thing is that we're refining the very best version of ourselves. So yes, it's our job alone, but we're not alone in doing it. Does that make sense? All right, let's go on, move further. What was my question? So wisdom, can you give us some wisdom for the divine feminine watching this? Hey! These cards are hard to shuffle. I'm gonna pick them up, I'm gonna do it again because they all face on the outside. All right. Spirit, what do you want to tell us? Let's see. Surrender with joy came out in reverse. So you might be asking, where do you start, okay, right now? Because when you, quote, quote, open your eyes, you know, see what you need to do next, you know, all you see is your shadow self, and all you feel is, you know, all these insecurities and second doubting and, you know, second guessing kind of thing. Second doubting. Did you hear me say that? Second doubting. You don't need a second doubting. You need to begin with your joy center and your pleasure center, and Spirit taught me that this week. You can begin in your joy center, you know, identify your joys and your pleasures, right? Because those are the easiest to name and, you know, the quickest felt, you know, most effortlessly identifiable. And Spirit's saying start there and build, because you can, you know, with looking through your situations and your shadow self with joy and pleasure, you know, will is what was I saying? Well, sorry. I had this. Will is pleasure infused with love. Is that what I said? Because that equals passion. That's what it was. Will infused with love equals passion. That's where, you find joy in that, right? So when you identify your passion and your joy centers, you can come through your shadow self and face your shadow self, with your courage, and Spirit saying, surrender with joy. And this is in reverse right now, which tells me it's, that's not happening. It goes with, the self-esteem thing, right? The self-esteem you need. So let's just say you don't feel, your self-esteem, you don't feel strong in yourself right now. Go identify your joy. What brings you joy? Is it music? Is it, is it poetry? Is it, the sunshine? Is it the horizon? Is it the ocean? Whatever your joys are, is it that cup of tea you're going to have in 5 minutes? You're going to maybe put honey in it tonight, whatever. Create your joys and bring yourself pleasure. Okay. Yes, you can bring yourself that kind of pleasure as well. More importantly, I guess, going back to spiritual pleasures, right? Whatever brings you joy and pleasure, you're going to go and face your shadow self that way. All right. That is just a spot on a map on your chakra map that you can begin your healing with. All right. Let's see. Wow, I'm losing my voice. What? Let's get a word of advice from Whispering Woods. You have a word of advice for us? Ooh, this fell out. I'm gonna take another one though. Spirit. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Grounded. Make sure you ground yourself. All right. When after you identify your joy and your pleasure, not so much centers, but the energies, and when you face your shadow self, make sure you go in grounded first. Anchor your energies. Make sure you are strong in your boundaries. Speak them out loud. Only having love and light, come through for you, ground you. Anything lower vibration, does not enter. You have the say, and you have to, ground your energies and ground yourself, and keep yourself protected, right? Keep yourself protected. I mean, you don't want to scare yourself, and surprise yourself in a way. You need to find your strength within you to face yourself, right? It's your creation, so to speak, right? And then Spirit's also saying, be patient, during this renewal. You're going through a transformation. You're renewing your truths. You're renewing your dedicated effort to speaking your truths and being real, okay? And being honest and communicating clearly. This is a huge undertaking. Yes, it is, but can you think of nothing better? You're the perfect reason why you have to be, facing your shadow self. You're going through an awakening. This is no small feat. All right. Let's see. I'm going to get one more card from the light deck, and then we'll end it from here, okay? Trying to keep these readings a little bit shorter lately. Let's see, Spirit, what can we... Oh, this card wants to fall out. This is focus, all right? Spirit saying, you need to focus on this. You need to do this. I mean, every card has come out basically saying, you need to do this now. So for whoever this message is for, Spirit saying, this is number 37. So you have the divine walking you through this, right? With the number 3 and the number 7, you got the divine Trinity, blessings, divine patience, divine process, divine faith, divine works. I mean, the divine is behind you. Behind you is a co-creating effect. You can come through this, but you need to focus, okay? And don't lose focus of who you are, where you've been and where you're headed, because you are going through an awakening and you're renewing, okay? I really, really hope that helped. All right. I hope you subscribe and leave me a comment or something, and join me next time, all right? In the meantime, please stay in your heart space and be centered, be bright, and be so full of light. Sending you lots of divine love and light, and love, 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 love. Be well, okay? Take care.